Morning PooTube, hope everyone's good. Part 2, the battery died, so yeah. So all this with people like Kermit and whatever, Easer, etc. I guarantee there will be no evidence brought forward of me defending Easer. Like I say, I'm quite happy to have the open discussion. I even said to Kermit tonight, at least you're being honest or whatever. He has admitted and shown evidence that he grassed Easy up. The reasoning behind it seems to have changed somewhat. Now, even people have pointed out on Easy's live that finished just not long ago or whatever, a strange alliance between Kermit, considering he hated Jupiter, and that's his words, hated Jupiter, to where they are now or whatever. Now, earlier on tonight on Nix's, I've said to Kermit, I think you've let the hate take over to a silly fucking level or whatever. Oh, I don't hate anybody on YouTube. That isn't what you've said in the past, Kermit. You are absolutely filled to the brim with hate. Now, you absolutely hated Jupiter at one point in time, same as everyone else did. Do you know what I mean? It was literally like, I hate Chris, that fucking show or whatever, but Herpiter instead. Now, for me, do you know what I mean? When people do the musical chairs thing and whatever, to me it just shows me you don't actually stand on fuck all. When you do the enemy of my enemy is my friend or whatever, you're just showing people, you know what I mean? You'll stand with people that you don't like just because you've got a common enemy. Now, to me, that just means you still sat with shit cunts that you don't like and you hate. Your words. Do you know what I mean? Now, people can take it how they like. Do you know what I mean? But realistically, most people in these damp corners of YouTube or whatever have been used at least once and stabbed in the back at least once by Jupiter. Now, again, do you know what I mean? Mad levels of attacks going into people's families and whatever coming from Jupiter when these things unfold. So it is mad to watch, to be honest. The way people just so forgetful, or like conveniently forgetful on certain aspects and whatever. And again, I think it just comes down to the enemy of my enemy tactics, which is just, in my mind, it's mental. It makes no sense. And it just leaves you sat with shit cunt. Simple as that. Now, Jupiter since tonight has moved on to making out that Easer is having sex with his son and all sorts of fucked up shit. Now, it's one of them, innit, for people to stand around that, lean on it, support it, and say, oh, Jupiter's a good person. Where are you looking? Because nobody normal can see what you're saying. Realistically, it just makes you look wonky. If you're okay with the shit that she says and does, then yeah, it just just screams wonka to be okay with that. Now, somebody's saying on comments tonight that Kermit's not worth talking to, he's unhinged. A lot of other stuff that I won't bother going into or whatever, but for me it's one of them. I'm quite happy to have the open, honest discussion, to be honest. I'll give it that with Kermit or whatever. He does seem to be honest enough to own up to these things. I mean, years ago, if you use a grass or whatever, even online or whatever, do you know what I mean? You wouldn't get a good reception for grassing anybody up. Now, Kermit seems to be quite proud of it. Like, no, I'm not letting anyone else have the glory or whatever. I did it, here's the evidence. Now, when you've got a loud, proud grass in the mix, you're already on shaky ground, aren't you? The moment they start sharing images of anybody's children, whether they be sexualised or not, do you know what I mean? You just took it to another level now, to the point where anybody normal stands back from that. They think, well, that's nonsense, fucking it. Do you know what I mean? To even go into somebody's family is fucking wonky, but to start with people's fucking children, pictures of their children, nah, you've gone to another level, to the point where anybody normal would swerve that and disassociate themselves totally from that. Some people clearly haven't. Now, I was trying to clarify it with Kermit or whatever. Have you literally made the image yourself, or have you just shared it from Arthur Spaff? Considering the evidence has been out a long time on Arthur Spaff, to the point where Danny Jones disassociated himself from that and called it out live or whatever. To me, that should kind of tell you all you need to know. I mean, there's a lot of things that Danny won't kind of call out, if you like, or whatever. But when confronted with the evidence, he did call it out, credit where due. Now, anybody that doesn't, realistically, you are below the level of Danny PC fucking Jones, Hoax Police, who's generally defending rapists or whatever. So just let that sink in, I guess. I mean, Babs still flies the Danny Jones flag now, despite everything that's been said and done. So it's definitely a mixed bag, innit? But realistically, how much credibility have these people got? What do these people actually stand on? What are they about? Just questions to kind of like consider or whatever. Now, like I said from day one, none of the shit that goes on, realistically, is going to make or break my day. I said at the beginning of all this or whatever, there would be a handful of decent people in the mix, which would be of worth to the wider public or whatever, which can actually do something of use or whatever. And I wasn't wrong. You've literally got a handful scattered in between certain communities and certain people doing their own thing, going in their own direction at the moment. And to be honest, I think, do you know what I mean? I think they're the only people, realistically, that would be worth anybody's time or whatever. You're always going to get a certain amount of people that, and generally a majority, which are just generally more interested in drama, daily doxings, trying to cause shit, etc. Just trying to make a name for themselves as like the biggest troll. You know, like it's an achievement or something, and they get a trophy at the end of it. It's fucking mad. Now, I've never been about any of that. I've been very anti that or whatever. For obvious reasons, do you know what I mean? These things rarely end well, and I've got no real worth to anything, if I'm honest. So, yeah. Whatever floats your boat, I guess. I mean, it's just one of them, in my mind. Don't be here for that and then make out you're all about, oh, I'm all about, you know, stopping all these fucked up things going on in the world, the rape gangs, the terrorism, the fucking treason of government, blah, blah, blah. If 80% of what you do is the bullshit back and forth, trying to milk fucking situations for views to build up a channel, blah fucking blah, then that's generally what you're about. Whatever you do 80% of the time is generally what you're about. The 20% on top of that, it's just one of them, innit? Oh, whatever's relevant, it might bring views, blah blah blah, and some fucking virtue signalling, realistically. Now, people have got to work these things out for themselves and figure out what category they are in and figure out what's the purpose of them being around YouTube or whatever. Now, I've made it clear from day one, YouTube is just literally a tool to have open, honest discussion. All you need for that to happen is honest people. Now, when there's a massive lack of that and there's only a few people that can be honest, yeah, it's a bit more of a struggle. Do you know what I mean? But generally, do you know what I mean? The decent people do float to the top, and the bottom feeders keep each other company at the bottom. Now, if that's a level that you're happy with and happy being around and whatever, and you're okay with all this vile shit that goes on, just stay doing what you're doing. Just don't pretend to be something else that you're not. Because, do you know what I mean? It's not got a good optics to it, has it, realistically? When you stand back and look at it and you think, how can these people be about stopping abuse happening to children, blah blah blah, when you actually are doing the most vile shit? Do you know what I mean? Look at it when Mandy Mosley was doing all this shit or whatever, attacking the victims and survivors. Yeah, Jupiter's done the exact same thing, Wendy's done the exact same thing, making up ridiculous lies or whatever, making Danny Tomo into a nonce. Well, Mandy Mosley did that, but so did Wendy do that. Has she ever apologised? No, because she won't, you know what I mean? It wouldn't mean that anyway if she did apologise, because realistically, she's just gutted she got caught out. Simple as that. Now, you've had people making out, well, just generally one simp of Jupiter's, really. I've apparently been sat on a panel with Moon or whatever. I've been speaking to Moon, blah blah blah. No, I haven't. No, I haven't. Bring forward that evidence. Can't bring any other evidence forward, can you? Bring forward that evidence. There is no evidence of that happening at all. So, just more lies, more bullshit from Team Wrongen. Same with the bullshit of I'm defending Easy. Where? When? Show me the evidence. There is no evidence because I haven't done that. I think I've spoke to Easy as of recent for 2 occasions. One, I was generally chatting with Triller. Easy weren't really saying too much, he was just sort of letting the conversation unfold. And a previous time to that, just chatting with Easy, simple as that, catching up on certain things, and yeah, there was no defending Easy whatsoever. If I've said anything, it'll be along the lines of people going into people's families and whatever. He's fucked up, and it's fucked up from all sides, regardless. And I've made that clear. Don't matter who I'm talking to. I don't change depending where I'm sat in what community. I just stick to what I'm about. I don't fucking flip-flop from one thing to another and pretend one thing with one camp and one thing with another. You just get as it is with me. If you don't like it, tough shit. Do you know what I mean? Now, the flip-flopping that goes on or whatever, and the musical chairs, to me, it's just proper. Like, it's got to be embarrassing to have to kind of do that or whatever. Even Easy tonight is, big up fucking Esau. It's like, didn't Esau put you in hospital? And Jupiter's played the fucking video tonight where Easy's on about putting a bullet in his head and all this kind of shit and whatever. But to be them bigging him up tonight, so yeah, it's mad. It is proper mad. That's all I can think. The enemy of my enemy is somehow my friend or whatever. You keep doing that over and over and over and over again, eventually you've got no credibility, and realistically, do you know what I mean? Where do these things actually lead? Esau's been nothing but a troll. Nothing but a troll. And he's been one of the worst trolls. And he's been enrolled by Jupiter. So I don't even understand why Easy's barking up that tree, if I'm honest. Who will Esau actually stand with? The person that he's got under their thumb with a blackmail vid, or Easy, realistically? I think the choice is very obvious, to be honest. The thing with Esau, he just doesn't like Taff, so do you know what I mean? He's going to go down that road to a certain degree, but he's not going to want to lose that control that he's got over Jupiter. So, and anything Jupiter saying like, oh yeah, we'll put it all out then or whatever. Do you know what I mean? These things are just words said or whatever as a front. Now, what gets said in private, none of you are going to know or whatever. But we all know, as a matter of fact, that Danny Jones brought forward some evidence, give it to Dream Team, and then Jupiter's been confronted with that, and then all of a sudden done a deal with Esau and Bleeding, and literally has been openly manipulated for fucking months and months and months or whatever. That's not up for discussion. Jupiter cannot explain that. She won't review that video. She'll review all of Easy's. She did one the other night. She reviewed 4 hours. I think Easy's original live was maybe 50 minutes or something. She made it into a 4-hour episode, and then realised that video was getting played, and then panicked and just like stopped that live and started showing shit from fucking 5 years ago or something. Now, if you remember, I mean, half the shit she's showing now is going back 5 years or whatever. If you remember, only less than 2 years ago, around that, myself and Jupiter had a one-to-one, and she weren't saying that about Easy then, was she? If you remember, myself and Easy had a little bit of a falling out because of all that shit that was going on at the time. Easy was going around saying some mad shit, and we squashed it in the end or whatever. Do you know what I mean? He admitted the things he was saying weren't true, etc. I understand at the end of the day that people get angry and emotional and whatever, and with Easy's medical issues and whatever, do you know what I mean? You've got to give them a little bit of leverage, and I did that. At the end of the day, don't hold a grudge. As soon as somebody's admitted, okay, you know, just said that because I was pissed off or whatever, it's like, right, okay, that's fair enough. At least you've acknowledged it or whatever. You box off, you move forward. It is that simple. Now, like I say, do you know what I mean? I've been civil with everybody. Unless you're attacking me, then I'm not really going to return that energy if I'm not being given that energy, am I? Realistically. Yeah, for me, I think Easy has been manipulated quite a lot, mainly by Jupiter at the time or whatever. The shit between Moon and Jupiter, that's their issue. Do you know what I mean? That is their issue. That's what Jupiter hates, realistically. When you go back, when she says something that it don't make sense, and then you go, well, let's rewind just 2 years then instead of 5 years, and when I'm saying X, Y, and Z about Easy, you're defending it and saying, no, that's not the case, blah, blah, blah. And you were singing his praises not so long ago, Jupiter. Yeah? But now, you're literally... you're literally admitting that the things I said 2 years ago on our one-to-one, I was right. No, everything I said was right. You've literally confirmed that tonight. So, yeah. Jupiter clearly stands on nothing. Do you know what I mean? I'll be honest, do you know what I mean? With Easy, the first time I knew about Easy and whatever, I was sent a link. I was shown that Danny Jones and AJ, no, I think it was just AJ initially. I don't know whether Danny Jones was or wasn't around it. I can't actually remember. It might have just been on comments. But they was trying to sell the story of the rapist was somehow the victim, and a Telford victim survivor, whatever, was somehow the temptress, and the rapist was somehow the victim. I jumped on there and we had it out or whatever, and that's only, you know what I mean, that's where I know Easy from that point. Now, I could see back then that Easy was on the right side of history around that particular situation, and that's where I've known him from or whatever. Now, all the other shit that's unfolded after that point in time and whatever, do you know what I mean? It's a mad situation where I only know him from that, and I could see that he had the right side of the argument and whatever. And that shit was trying to get pushed into other communities, into Taft's community, into fucking all sorts. So, yeah, it is a bit of a mad one. But all these things can be pulled back up and whatever and gone back over and whatever. But the Arthur Spaff situation, that was definitely exposed a good while ago. I'd say about a year off the top of my head without checking or whatever. So people can't really not be in acknowledgement of that because it happened so long ago. Now, some of the emails and stuff that Easy shown tonight and certain messages and this, that and the other does show that like Kermit and Arthur Spaff have been in contact of some way, shape or form. And if Kermit has shared that, whether he made it or whether he shared it on his panel, on his post, community post, whatever it is, yeah, it's fucked up. It is fucked up. I don't think there's anyone that can come forward, including Kermit, that can show you another scenario where it's not fucked up to be putting a picture of somebody else's child on the internet, especially if it's been sexualised. I think that's something that most people would agree on, to be honest. Obviously someone like Jupiter, do you know what I mean? If that's what people are aspiring to be, a low-life scumbag like Jupiter, then just carry on doing what he's doing, do you know what I mean? Jupiter's going on like people are trying to discredit her like she's got credit to fucking oh my days, these people are proper delusional. Jupiter's not had any credibility since I've known her. All she's done is go from fucking shit to more shit to more shit, and she plays everybody off each other. For the so-called men, which are like allowing this old tart fucking Jupiter to play them, do you know what I mean? It's like, you might need a check-up, I don't know. You might need to get out more or something, I don't know. Go and get some fresh air or something. Yeah, it's just mad. It's just mad. Now, if myself and Kermit end up having a chat on Taffs, probably going to bump heads a little or whatever. He was getting very animated in the comment section on Nix's and whatever, just spamming the same comment over and over. Yeah, it will be what it will be. It is that simple. That's if it happens, do you know what I mean? I think if it was going to happen, to be honest, Taff would have probably been live already. It's now 2:10, and I've not seen a notification come up from Taff's channel, so and despite what Kermit thinks, I'm not subbed to his channel. I haven't been for a long time, so it's not like I can even at him on this video or whatever. Don't know his channel, not interested in his channel. I've said if he wants to have a discussion, we can do that. If Taff allows it, we can do that. Obviously I would have said Easy's, but I don't think Easy would even have Kermit on, and I don't blame him, to be honest. But yeah, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's not going to be any skin off my nose either way. For Kermit bigging up a fucking nonce, well, you big up a nonce, that's on you, innit? Again, no skin off my nose, is it? Right, enjoy the weekend, look after each other, and stay safe. With all these rats and snakes about, you should be taking a little bit more caution as to who you're with, who you stand with. who you associate yourself to, etc. Right, enjoy.